That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're here to talk about No Exit, the second film directed by Damien Power, which 20th Century Studios, in conjunction with Hulu, is releasing the film on February 25th, 2022. It has no relation to the Jean-Paul Sartre play from 1944 or Blondie's 1999 album.
The director?
Damien Power.
What do we know them from?
I haven't seen his previous film.
Oh.
But it's based on a book by Taylor Adams, which I'm also unfamiliar with.
The basic story is about a woman named
Darby.
We find her in a rehab, like a court-ordered rehab, when she gets a call saying that her mom is in the hospital and in very bad shape. So, of course, Darby wants to leave to go see her mom. But the staff at the center are telling her, you can't leave unless we get approval from your doctor. And it's the weekend, so that's not going to happen until Monday. So she decides to break out of the rehab center, steal a car, and drive to wherever her mom is, like Salt Lake City or something. And in the process, she's in the mountains, and there's a really bad snowstorm, and the roads are closed. A police officer tells her, like, listen, you're stuck up here, you need to go to the visitor center and wait until the storm passes. So she goes, and there are 4 people there waiting as well. To wrap it up, she sees in one of the cars parked in the lot that there is a young girl, like an 11-year-old girl, tied up in the back of this van. So clearly she's been kidnapped. So she goes back in, thinking like, well, who could it be? Who do I tell? She assumes it is... There's a guy named Lars, who's kind of like a creep. Like, he looks all greasy and crazy, and he's acting weird. And then she's asking everyone questions, trying to determine like who's from Nevada, because the van has Nevada plates. And Lars says that he's from, like, that he's moving to Nevada or something. So she's hell-bent on thinking it's him. So she tells another character named
Ash.
And then we find out that Ash and Lars are working together. They've kidnapped this girl to sell her into, like, sex trafficking. Okay. The other 2 people who are in this visitor center are a married couple. One played by
Dennis Haysbert.
And the
Ed and Sandi is played by Dale Dickey.
Okay. Sandi is a housekeeper.
Ex-nurse turned housekeeper.
Who was working for the kidnapped girl's family. So she's from a rich family. And she is in cahoots with these kidnappers because A, she understood that they were just going to hold her for like ransom. And they were going to get a few $1 million, split it with her, and the girl is brought back home safely. She knew nothing about the sex trafficking. Also, she agreed to do it because we find out her husband has a gambling addiction and wasted all their money. So she needed to do something. Ash basically kills everyone. Darby kills Lars. And then, of course, the little girl's running around safe. And the end of the film is, you know, cell phones aren't working, but Darby was able to send out a text to 911 saying, like, here's the license plate of this van that has this kidnapped girl. I'm at the visitor center. Come help. So they're coming. Like, we hear them coming. A cop shows up. Ash kills the cop. But Darby kills Ash. The end. We see her back in rehab, seemingly doing better. And then we also find out that her sister and her mom wanted nothing to do with her. So she shouldn't have tried to get her ass to the hospital in the first place. But we see the sister shows up, and maybe they're going to reconcile. That's it. Okay, I thought this was a good movie. I thought the story was very interesting. It's quite violent, like, yes. Shockingly violent.
Well, shockingly, like, for what I was expecting.
I wasn't expecting it to be this violent. What didn't work for me is there's just too much going on. like Darby with her like being in rehab, and then her sister and mother don't really want to mess with her, and then we find out that Sam has a gambling addiction, and that's why the wife, who was a nurse, and then it's not really explained why she can't work as a nurse.
Ed. Yes, like something happens that I don't know if we got more details.
Because she
that.
certainly would make more money as a nurse.
Yeah,
That's an issue, and also like she seems, there's a scene where that's the other thing I didn't appreciate. We see the young girl like degrading Sandi at work, like trying to get her to do like an embarrassing TikTok as the housekeeper.
It's called like Click Clack or something.
I think that was trying to establish like maybe she doesn't like the little girl, so she was a little more willing to like let her get kidnapped. But yeah, and then of course the coincidence that they're all in this place together, and the husband doesn't know. There's just a lot going on.
Yes, there are too many conveniences to instill a suspension of disbelief.
I only had one note, and that was the real gag of the story is that Dennis Haysbert is married to
Dale Dickey.
When they say they're a married couple, I was like, what? That lady looks dried out.
Oh,
she's a very good actor.
I love Dale Dickey, but yes, I mean she, of course. But that said, nice cast. Havana Rose Liu I thought was fine as Darby.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have much to say about this movie. I enjoyed it enough. I would recommend checking it out. Do you have any other notes?
No.
Oh, wow. This is a quick one. So what would you give it?
I'd say 3 out of 5.
I would give it 3 out of 5 as well. Thank you.